Hey everybody, what's up? Jim Cyril and Tanya Klein here from Coverage Inc., the leader in screenplay analysis, development, and editing services since 2002. How are you doing today, Tanya?
Very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, and I know we have a short video, just a short video today. We just wanted to talk about our manager panel, right?
Yeah. So today, because in case you've missed it, our manager panel for Get Rep Now 2026 dropped 17 awesome managers. And the thing we always do is we ask them, hey, what are you looking for?
So, but before we get into that, let me put up the graphics so you guys can see the panel. So this is our panel, and we've got some 17. I think that's more reps than have ever been on a contest. This isn't a contest, it's a promotion, but you know what I mean. I haven't checked on that. That's just a guess, but I haven't seen that many that I'm aware of. So some of these people are returning, who've been with us since the very beginning, 11 years ago. Jeff Belkin, he goes back to the beginning. Jake Wagner, those guys have been around for years. Jake Wagner has picked up two of our Get Rip Now people over the past couple of years. We've got some great new folks as well that we've never had before, so welcome all you folks. It's a real interesting panoply of tastes that we have out there, all different styles, everything from studio stuff to bring me weird.
All right, so let's go through genres. So, number one, of course, horror. If you have a unique horror, if you have something that stands out, people will want to see it.
Yeah, and there's nothing surprising on the first batch of stuff that we're going to tell you, because that's what everybody's looking for, and you know, it's all stuff everybody knows. But stay for the back part of the video, because we're going to get into some stuff that may surprise you a little bit. Go ahead, Tony.
Next on the list, thrillers. Of course, thrillers are an evergreen. Also, sure. In particular, supernatural thrillers seem to be high on some lists these days.
Yeah, and that could, of course, overlap with horror. You know, there's lots of different kinds of horror, all different kinds, and they're basically all popular to varying different degrees, some less than others. Body horror is now having a moment thanks to, you know, like the Substance and stuff like that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, of course, action comedy. I mean, that definitely has come back in a big way. It was kind of, you know, it had left the building for a decade or so in the early 2000s, but now it very much is back. It is back.
Thank you, streaming. And look, you know, we still haven't seen a huge action comedy really kick butt at the theaters yet. But everyone's
Netflix is big on them. Oh my God, Netflix is doing so many of them.
Yep. Okay.
And then, of course, sci-fi, in particular, grounded sci-fi. And what does that mean? It means, well, no major space battles, you know, no aliens, no armies fighting each other. Grounded sci-fi.
Yeah, usually means takes place on Earth. Doesn't have to, but, you know, contemporary, takes place on Earth with like one big sci-fi idea. You know, like somebody wakes up one morning and then they discover they have a black hole in their leg. You know, that sort of thing. Okay.
Exactly. We also have fast-paced 1 hours are on the list. So fast-paced 1 hours means, well, just that. Fast-paced 1 hours, basically. Things that, you know, end every act on a cliffhanger, propulsive action going forward.
Right. Yeah, so again, nothing too surprising here. You know, of course, commercial genre specs. Look, the managers want stuff they can sell.
Let's not forget rom-coms are also on the list. Everybody likes rom-coms these days. I mean, again, that's another genre that has made a huge comeback in as of late. Also a genre that had left the building for a decade or so, but is now back.
A couple of the managers mentioned true stories and specifically anything based on IP. And what they mean by that, of course, we all know what IP is by now. If you've been watching this channel, you certainly know. Intellectual property, it's source material that exists and was successful in another form. But true stories / IP, what they're talking about there is like something that happened to a real person that got publicity, magazine, newspaper stories, and this person is now in the public consciousness, or maybe people will remember that incident from a few years ago that we can dramatize.
Yes, and just to clarify that, because somebody actually recently asked me, I was at a party and they're like, well, this amazing thing happened to me. And it was made all the newspapers, rah, 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 and they wanted to buy the movie rights back in the day. So the problem is it was back in the day, namely in like the 70s. So so it's like, well, that's a problem because nobody is going to remember it.
Yeah, recent enough to be relatable. Otherwise, we're going to start running into the period piece problem, which we
Yeah.
discussed in our 10 genres you don't want to write, and we'll link to that in the description.
Exactly. You also had some surprising things well, a couple of people were looking for.
A few things we did not expect. I
Yeah.
mean, we expected every one of the ones that we just mentioned. We hear that every year. But here's a few that we did not, including a few things that actually contradict our previous video on the 10 genres that you shouldn't be writing right now. So go for it, Tanya.
One manager said Westerns are okay because he knows a company that is reading them.
Yeah.
Okay, so in case you have one,
Yeah, so we had warned you in the previous video, Westerns are a tough sell nowadays, but someone is willing to take a look if they're good. Okay, great.
exactly. And of course, in general, everybody wants Boise.
Well, yeah, I mean that kind of goes without saying, but I think the interesting point there was that this particular manager didn't care what the genre was. He was just excited by anything that's voicey or different or unusual, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
So
okay,
quirky,
cool.
weird,
Yeah,
you name it.
quirky, right, quirky, weird, exactly. Yeah. So so don't be afraid to throw us something that might not be quote unquote commercial. In fact, we just sent back coverage yesterday, Tanya, for a script that Gotta Consider was not entered into Get Rep Now. But
It was definitely not commercial.
definitely not commercial. It was quirky and weird, and it was well written, and it got a consider for script and a strong consider for writer.
Yeah.
So had that person entered it into Get Rep Now, that could be something that would get attention.
Yeah.
Procedural pilots. So procedurals,
Yeah.
I guess, in the wake of The Pit, and look, I mean, procedurals have been popular.
Around forever. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, in particular, of course, we're talking, procedurals on network. They're huge on network, always have been huge on network. It's pretty much the only thing networks do. But yeah, you also have some more prestige procedurals. You just mentioned The Pit.
Yeah. And the other two that really kind of threw me and really surprised me, comedies, which again in our script in our video of 10 genres you might not want to write right now. Comedy's been really having a tough time of late, but several of the managers said that they are excited to read comedies. So comedy isn't dead, it's just resting, to paraphrase Monty Python.
Ah,
And last but not least, this one was the real surprise to me. Romance, and particularly romantic dramas. Now, why is that surprising? Because, as we mentioned in the previous video that we linked to in the description, dramas have been a real tough sell of late. Look, they still get made. They're often prestige pieces. Actors love to do them because they think they can win awards. And they do get made, and they do occasionally get theatrical release, or they get shown on streamers.
yeah, quickly, in case people are kind of confused about the difference between a romantic comedy and a romantic drama. The romantic comedy is light and fluffy, and you have a happy ending.
And formulaic,
And formulaic, yeah.
yeah,
The romantic drama,
it's comfort food, whereas a romantic drama may not be
yeah.
comfort food. It could be a tragedy. It could be depressing. It could be it could be love story. It could.
To go back way in time and I think
Yeah.
you're dating yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm old. What can I say? So, all my references are going to be from pre-1943, Tanya, by the way. Just but the point is, to have, it wasn't just one, it was actually two of the managers, one of who said, good Kraken drama, and another one said romance slash romantic drama, to have two of the managers say that they're actually interested in reading that, that's a real sea change. And that's great, because a lot of the best scripts that we've seen, historically have been like, romantic dramas with roles that actors can really sink their teeth into. So there you go. So there's our panel, folks. So we've got 17 managers looking to read. We're very excited about it. And if you're interested in getting in on it, just submit your script before then at coverageinc.com or getrepnow.com. And if you get a consider or better for script, which is roughly the top 2 to 3%, your material, pilot or screenplay, will be elevated to our manager panel.
And if you have any questions, you can reach us at info@coverageinc.com.
Thanks for watching, folks. Please like and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell, because that tells the algorithm that we exist. And we will see all of you guys in the next video.
Remarkable bird, the Norwegian blue. Beautiful plumage, isn't it?
The plumage don't enter into it. It's stoned in.
No, it's resting.